Hello everyone, I'm here today with a new process video, and what I'm working on is the opening page for my New York 2022 album. It's a 6x8 album, but my opening page is a 4x8 insert. And I also have two possible pieces of paper here to use as my background for my title for that opening page. I like this one because it obviously looks like a big city and dark, which makes me think more of New York than something like this, which has New York City buildings on it, but it's pink. And I'm just not sure how I feel about pink. That's not something I would normally associate with New York City, but I'm willing to keep an open mind. And then the other thing is that the other day when I was doing my video showing everything that I had gathered, I realized I missed something. I had a separate bag of stuff that I had set aside. Why I didn't put it in the bin, I don't know, but I have it. And it's all, again, things that I thought might work for New York. And there are some pretty interesting things in here. I don't know if you're familiar with this company, but this is a somewhat newer sticker company. And at first I wasn't sure how I felt about it because a lot of their stuff seems to be a little cutesy, very whimsical, but then they released some travel and city related things and they won me over. So here are the three sets of stickers I have from Pipsticks, and as you can see, these are very foily and shiny. These are more flat, which is fine, but I like these because they're specific to New York and the colors are weird. These aren't colors I would normally pick out, like this neon orangey color, you know, and the purple, but I kind of like it, so I have those. And then these I thought just perfect for New York. For the buildings, of course, they do kind of look okay with this. And then I bought these because I go to New York enough where I'm like, okay, some of these tickets, like I didn't go to Central Park this time, but I will again. But this one even says the Met. So I love that. And to go along with this, because it says the Met and it's in pink, I also have this, Stay Magical. Now this I'm sure was meant for Disney, but I pulled it because I went to a Disney exhibit while at the Met. It was all about how French style decor and design was used in a lot of the Disney movies like Beauty and the Beast. And I thought, well, that might be cool if I could work it in there. And so I have that as well. But then I have just a bunch of other stuff here too. Things like this one says landmark, museum visit. This is why I can't believe I forgot these. Favorite place, some tags. I like the details thing there. This I threw in there because I was spending part of the time there with my friend who lives there, and so I wasn't sure that the colors would work, but I like the idea of using it, so I threw that in there too. And I like the travelogue with the little sort of street map there. You know, lots of different things. I did fly, obviously, so I like this one's got the plane on it. And then here, this is that same castle, but I actually fussy cut it so that I could use it maybe on a different background to make it match. I don't know. But all these fun things, and I totally forgot that I even had them in there. So I do have those that I might use something on an opening page. This is another one where I have been trying to use this forever. I don't even remember where I got this, but it's been years. I don't know how to use it. So I'm hoping maybe something will appear to me in this album where I can finally get rid of it because it's cool. It looks cool. I just don't know how to use it. So the other thing that I have for New York, which I didn't show, was this. It's an acrylic piece. It's black, but it's not going to work because if I want a 4x8 opening page, this is too wide. This is made for like a 4x6 pocket. So it might have worked on here, but it's not going to work on a 4x8. But again, I'm in New York enough. I'll just keep it. I'll use it for another trip and it'll be fine. So as I was sort of repositioning stuff and looking through what I do have, I made the decision I am going to go with pink. I'm going to use this paper and I'm going to design something with some of these buildings to go with my opening page rather than this. I like the idea of non-traditional style and color, so I think that's what sold me. So I have that. I have these. I probably will get out my New York stamps. I think I have at least 3 New York stamp sets, maybe 4 now, because again, I'm there enough where I feel like if I buy those, I'll still get my use out of them. So I think I'm going to pull those to see if there's like a bigger title thing that maybe says New York, NYC, Manhattan, something, and that maybe I can make my own title out of that instead of using that acrylic piece. I was right. I do have at least 3 New York City stamp sets, so I have pulled those. I also have this one, which has every state listed for the United States, and so I could pull the one on there that says New York, but I don't know that I'll need to because I do have it in several places here. I'm really thinking I like this one, especially for a title, because it's big, it's bold. I do also like this one though, because that's quintessential New York, riding the subway. So I don't know. I need to look at these. I also thought about this, but I don't want to use this stamp if I'm also using these, unless somehow I figure out how to intermix them or something. But for now, I think I've got stickers, I've got paper. I will probably use this as my title. All right, I cut down my paper to a 4x8. And one thing that I do want to point out that I love is because I had a 6x8 piece of paper, I still have a 2-inch strip here. That will work for cutting down into 2x2s. There are some page protectors, particularly by Simple Stories, where there is a 2-inch strip on one side. So I could save this and potentially use it again later for a layout if I use that style of a page protector. So I'm not going to throw this away. I will actually keep this. I could even fussy cut some of these buildings if I wanted to. I'm sure I wouldn't do that. I'd more likely use it for a 2-inch slot in a page protector, but it gives me options. So I think I've decided I'm going to take some of these stickers and create a border along the bottom. And yes, it's buildings on buildings, but I think these are jazzy enough that they'll stand out, and then you'll still get this in the background. Then I am going to take this stamp and put it up here. And then, I don't do this very often, but I think I'm going to do it here. I have 2 date stamp roller stamps here. I don't use these a lot because I find I'm not very good at stamping with these. I do much better with stamps like this. But I love the look of it when I see other people do it, where they have a date range stamped. So I think I'm going to do that on here. I don't know which one I'm going to use, but I have them, and so I think I will add that. I may do it just like on a strip of white paper. That way it stands out from the background, and if I mess it up horribly, I can redo it, but we'll see what happens. All right, I did my lineup on the bottom there. And as I was doing these, I actually started here and worked over. When I got to this side, I realized, oh shoot, it's not gonna line up where I have nice spacing. So I just took this sticker, put it on, clipped off the extra, and then used it over here. So a little bit of a cheat, but I like the way it looks, and it doesn't have to be perfectly spaced. New York is not perfectly spaced, let's be honest. So I'm happy with that. So these are all the ones I have left, quite a bit yet. I can use those again another time, which is awesome. And does it say on here a title of these? No. I thought maybe it would say like what. Oh yes, it does. So this particular set, if you like it, is called High Rise in the Sky. So my next item of business is to stamp this. And so I have used this before, as you can see, so I don't need to season it, but I will stamp it and just do a practice run on a scratch sheet and then do it on here. If I were to screw it up, I could cover it up with white or something, but I'm hoping that first time works and that I don't have to make any adjustments. Yay, it worked perfectly. So that was my first attempt, my scratch piece, and then did it right on here, and it looks great. So now I'm going to figure out which roller stamp I want to use. This one is just like standard block font sort of. This one is a mix of cursive and block style. So this one is from Heidi Swap. This one is from A Beautiful Mess. Ooh, this is really old because they haven't even been doing scrapping stuff in a long time. But you know what? They still get used, so that's okay. All right, so as I'm getting ready to stamp here, I'm still trying to make my decision. I was gone February 27th to March 1st, and I discovered when I was setting this all up, this one only goes to 2021, and then after that it has 20 and a line where you write it in. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'm kind of bummed actually. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna use it, but I'm a little bummed out that I'd have to write that in. This one, however, goes up to like 2026 or something, so I could make that work. And then it's all one style. There's no mix of cursive and just regular font, which I'm fine with that. So I think I'm going to test them both and then see how I feel about it. right, after testing them out, I like this one better. So I kept this, and then I'm just going to put a little dash in there. Or maybe if I have a teeny tiny star or something, I could do that. And then I think it's going to go right there. And I still have the option where I could add some other things if I wanted, but I think I might not. I might just leave it like that. I kind of like the way that looks, but I don't know. Once I attach this, we'll see. For this, I did trim off a little bit on this end. There was a little bit more space on that side and it was driving me nuts. So I cut it off a little bit, but otherwise it's as it was. And then I'm going to just put some adhesive on there and attach it, and then my opening page might be done. Let's see if that's maybe down a little bit. There we go. But is it centered? That's the question. I think so. That looks pretty good. About equal space. It feels like the left side is a little bit higher. Is that better? There we go. I think that looks pretty good. So I think that's it. My opening page is done and I can move on to the rest of the album now. Thanks for watching.